Okay, so I know it's the last day, almost the last talk, and we're all busy and tired. That I will be really, really fast. I will not bother you with. It's not that excited as Nephew, but still, I believe, really important part of the open source collaboration between different projects. The topic of today's discussion is SAI Virtual Switch in DentOS. If the audience known, it's the virtual switch from basically SONiC. And the question is quite interesting, what we are trying to do and how. So my name is Chornyi. I'm the director of open source solution and strategy at PLVision. Unfortunately, the CTO couldn't make, he had some unexpected issues to cover. So I'm on my own. So don't judge me to rush. So in order to give you some background, to lay some background about what we are talking today about. So we've all heard about AI, ORAN, vRAN, Garment. It was all exciting, all great. But there's also a huge workshop on Monday regarding the SONiC, which powers all of this DC transformation into disaggregation stuff. And here, it's really, really simplified. It's oversimplified architecture of the SONiC. So we have the database, we have some applications, we have the platform plugins, we have the all devices. And on the right part of the slide, we can see there is, in the green box, there is a SAI, there is an SDK, and on top of it, there is a SND. So this is the main and only channel used by the SONiC to configure underlying data plane. As of today, widely adopted. All major vendors do support and provide their binaries for this. So this is the channel to configure the data plane in SONiC. However, in order to test the control plane, usually we want to make it simpler. We want to make it more reliable and more easier and more scalable to run our setups. It's really expensive. I mean, I believe that the vendors and the chip vendors will be really happy if you will buy the Tomahawk 5 for each and every developer. It's not feasible. So usually the NOS vendors, they do their virtual images for their OSs. And in SONiC, it's called SONiC VS. It's based on the virtual switch. I'm sleeping as well, sorry. And it's called VS Sleep. And if you take a look how it behaves, it's really, really simple and efficient way. So there is a virtual library which implements the virtual SAI. It has 0 data plane, so there is no data plane simulation here. It's fully for control plane simulation and control plane testing. And we see that when the virtual switch is being started, the same Redis DB, the same network application, we still have the same org agents, and we can still send packets. Question how? Simple, we have the Linux. So within the Linux, we have the fully featured data plane up and running. It's been tested and used for testing in SONiC for 5 years or 10 years now. Quite stable infrastructure and really helpful if you want to test the control plane applications. BGP, STP, other things. So the control plane testing, the first thing you start is the virtual switch. So where is the DentOS? So last year, Amazon announced that they will contribute the new way of managing and configuring the ASIC within the DentOS. The whole idea of all this announcement is that the HAL used by the switch dev driver for the DENT would be written and translated to the SAI. So on the diagram on the right, you see the switch manager, and we have the SAI agent and SAI library, and then we have the ASIC and FIS. And basically, this is how DENT on top of SAI looks like. So still, OK, we have DENT, we have SONiC. Where is the communication? Why we are talking about? What we are talking today about? And we are talking about this. The reason we came up with this is really simple. We are really, really lazy developers. We don't like to write the things that already exist. So what we did, we took the virtual switch from the SONiC, This is the same SAI, and this is the power of the SAI. Same API, implemented and available, linked it with the switch agent, run the kernel driver, and now we have the fully functioning virtual DENT image. Means we can now utilize the years of development from the SONiC community to help us to build a better DentOS, and vice versa. Once we will extend the virtual switch library, the SONiC can benefit from this as well. So the main question is, as I said, why? Main is to reuse. We can definitely come up with some in-house developed tool, or to build some extravagant different architecture, or just say, okay, we don't have the virtual image, but it's available, let's combine it. We also want to simplify the control plane testing in the NOS. This is quite challenging, but with the virtualization, we can spawn the virtual topologies. With our friends from Keysights, we can do the virtual traffic generators, etc. And its most important part here is we can now test the kernel driver, because I would go a bit on the back side, on the previous slide. As you can see, the kernel driver and the netlink driver is exactly the same. So we are not changing this part at all. So by doing this, we can test it in the production environment, let's say like that, by not having the specific ASIC, which allows to find and develop and fix bugs much, much, much faster. And let's say all be friends, because everyone's saying, can you use DENT? Can you use SONiC? Okay, SONiC is winning, DENT is losing, DENT is winning, SONiC is losing. No, there is a place for everyone. There is a place for everyone, there is an NOS for everyone. So let's collaborate, and let's, as I said, let's all be friends. So what is the next steps? The first thing is we will work with DENT community to make sure that there is an image generated from the DENT sources available to play with. As the additional step, as the sneak peek for that, we want to utilize the PDDF, and I don't know how the audience is familiar with it, but this is the platform framework from the SONiC in the DENT, and basically move this all to the Yocto-based stuff to utilize the combined development forces from the other communities, and basically build lightweight Linux-based distro with the switch dev and with the SAI. Here are some links to the DENT, to the SONiC, to the SAI, and I'm ready to get the questions. I believe it was either completely not interested or everyone understand everything. Cool, thank you. You always send me with a question.
Really good teacher, so I learned a lot from you. So do you think there's, you said there's less big threat, do you think the resources of the community to have two parallel nodes, even though different markets, do you think there are enough resources? Because companies don't dedicate a resource and they kind of like resource constraint.
Let's say community doesn't have the exact definition, and the community resources, there is no such thing as the community resources. Let's be
members of the community which compose the community have a
and this is the excellent question. We do know there are some customers for DENT. We do know there are customers for SONiC. And the community members, they will enrich the community that they see fit for their customers and fit their business strategies. And then they are combining their resources together to make their life easier. Because let's be realistic, no matter how big you are or your company are, you cannot compete with combined engineering power of all of the members, for example, with SONiC. So this allows to grow and innovate much, much faster. If we're talking about two of them, if it will be enough, I believe there is a place even for 5 or 10 if there is enough use cases and enough, because diversity is always a good thing. If there is enough market need for this specific use case, it will be in the community. And we've seen it several times. There was, at least that I do remember, 3 other open network systems. There was the ONL, which is dead. There was the OpenSwitch, which is dead. There was the second iteration of OpenSwitch is also dying. There was the Stratum, which is dead. So it's not about the how many resources you pull in. It's about, is there enough business behind?
And you
I believe it's a waves. You know, we've seen it so many times. We want something really, really generic. Let's go back to let's go all to the software and let's do everything in software because it's super flexible, super fast. Oh no, you know, software is too slow. Let's go to the hardware. Same here. We don't need all this variety. Let's consolidate. Okay, there is now really hard to make any changes. The velocity is there. Let's do our own stuff. I believe it's just a wave. We are now on a wave of consolidation. Let's wait 5 years. We'll see what happens. Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, I have another one. Who else deploys that aside from Amazon? Because even Amazon, they have their.
I don't
think Whole Foods uses that. I think, you know.
So I'm not authorized to talk about on behalf of Amazon for sure. And from the publicly, there was some universities in Europe that was trying to use it, and some governments to take a look on that. But I cannot disclose all the details, unfortunately. And if you're interested in that, come and join. We can help you to. Oh, Luca is there. He's deployed.
We can connect later.
Yeah. Thanks.